Hello. So today's Monday and I normally do a mixed media. I did get up earlier this morning and I made this box. So if you haven't seen that, you can go look for that. Before we get started too, I want to say that I was supposed to email the swap participants yesterday and I completely spaced on it. So I will be doing that. If you haven't gotten it already by the time this video gets uploaded, then you'll be getting it shortly. It will be coming today. So on with this. I usually do mixed media Monday and it's very hot today. We're supposed to be like 111. And I think it was supposed to be even warmer than that, but we ended up with some overcast, thank goodness. And my craft room being at the very end of the air conditioning, it's just very warm in here. And we've checked the vents and everything, and there's no leaking or anything. It's just that it's at the very end. And so it just doesn't get that much air. And I've got a ceiling fan blowing on me and a fan from the hallway blowing cool air in here. And it's still just so warm. And so I want to kind of make this quick. That's why I was here so early this morning doing the box. I woke up and I thought I better get in there before it gets too hot, and I can't. So I got this with my haul, and it's the die cut 3D topper pad. And so it's basically decoupage. And I just thought, why don't we put some of these together, even though it's not really mixed media. Some people might consider it. It's, to me, not, because it's paper. It's still paper. But let's take a look at them. That's what I'm thinking. And I've done a few decoupage videos, and so if you've been watching my channel for a while, you already know how to do it. And some of you know how to do it anyways. So that you don't really need my help. You already know how to do it. But, you know, some people that watch my channel are new and haven't seen it. And then there may be some of you that want to know about these specifically. How do they look, you know, when they're done? It's easy to look at the pad and you just don't know. But how do they look when they're done? So this is it. There's 4 pieces to this. And for today, I'm going to be using the, my little Crafter's. I don't know if this is Crafter's Companion or not, but this is. But my foam pads, these are tiny. These are little tiny strips. And I can even, you know, you can always cut them down. So you're going to start always, not always I guess, but normally with your largest one. And you might want to put a little shape on it. However you feel you want to do it. So there's my biggest. Then you go to your next biggest. And again, you might want to put some shape to it. I like to, a lot of times I just round it. But with this greenery and stuff, I might kind of tuck that back in a little bit. Keep this out, tuck that in. And then this one is going to go on top of here, and you can put it straight on and glue it straight down, but you're going to end up with flat. And some people like it that way. You can get the Collall 3D glue, or you can just use a foam pad. I thought these were bigger strips, but that's good. I'm glad they're not. So, put as many as you want. Now, the spots where I've tucked it back, I normally will not put the foam. I could this, because these are smaller. They're not going to be as high as these. But I normally don't, so I won't. But if you want to, you know, I know people that do, and like with the Collall, you put a thicker gob under the spots you want higher, and thinner under the spots that you want lower. So then you just come and you got to kind of line these up. And sometimes, you know, if you want them perfect, then line them up perfect. They will line up perfect if you want them perfect, right? But I find normally, and it actually makes it easier too, to me, it normally looks better if it's not done perfectly. Does that make sense? If you can see a little bit of the back, you're going to see it anyways. So why not? See, I like these to kind of come down so you don't see the pad in there. So it's up to you if you want it to line up perfectly, or if you want a little space, a little bit of it peeking. And it's barely peeking through, but it's peeking through. Just the tiniest bits. So now we'll put this on. That fan from the hallway is actually helping quite a bit, but it's still warm in here. And I've got my hair up and everything. Okay, it's actually very pretty. Okay, so with this, I'm just gonna try to get it to go down a little bit so that it will cover up the last of the foam pads, right? So I just want to kind of bend it a little bit like this. And some people will be like, what are you doing? I don't like my adhesive to show, which is one of the things I like about the Collall glue. So I'll come back another day and do them probably in the Collall. I'm just going to go ahead and just do the one so the rest of it can feel like it can fall if it's going to at all. Okay. So then there we go. It's got dimension, height, you know, all of that. Now it's too bad there's not a fall theme here, because then I could use that in my swap, right? It's very dimensional. Oh, look. I think these are the release sheets for die cutting. I think that's what they are. And I just found them and they were in the drawer with this. I was like, why did I put them in there? Now there's butterflies, but I don't think they layer up. See, they don't really show any pictures, but I don't think they layer up. Okay, so that's whatever flowers those are. They're pretty. And now we need to go to these roses. And I figured maybe I could be very careful. They're tabbed. You can come and trim the tabs off if you want. To me, they're not that noticeable. Like, I don't even notice tabs on here at all. And even if they were, because of the fact that this video is what it is, I probably wouldn't come and snip them through anyways, unless I just only wanted to get one done. But I would like to try to get like at least one of each of these. And I know you're seeing two designs, but there's other designs in here. So I would like to try and get these done. Now, because of the background, the color of the background on these, I would not put this on well, let me show you. White paper. I would look for some kind of muted color to make these stand out. I mean, it still looks good, but it makes it so obvious that it's like a printed thing. Okay, so shut this, and so I'm gonna start with this one, and you know, I need this. It makes it so much easier to do all this stuff. And then I just kind of come and fold these little pieces back with my hand. And I just like the way that does that. Okay, and then the next largest piece, and see, it's really easy to just give it some dimension. And as you go, it requires less because those pieces are normally the pieces that are going to be eliminated in the next stamp, or the next layer. That's the word I'm looking for. So, oops. And some people also, using the foam pads, are going to put glue. These foam pads here are not that old, so I'm not worried about it. But if I was using my foam on a roll, then I would be looking to add a little bit of glue here and there, just because it's old. And I want to make sure that it stays good. So these are just going to be pushed like that. And I'm going to stick a couple down. I thought maybe the way that didn't want to come up, that it was not right. right, but it was. Okay. It's best when you can look straight up over it. And this one goes really far. It goes really far. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers of flowers on this one. This goes down to 1, which is a little unusual, but that's a lot of layers. But you don't have to use the layers. So if you wanted to, I'll show you in one of the other ones. But you don't have to use all the layers if you don't want to. It's very simple to just leave one off. And this is just one flower, and I am going to cut a piece of this off. Use my glue scissors. I would rather use something like that just because I haven't tried using the Crafter's Companion in that. You know, a lot of them they say are non-stick now and stuff. I don't know about that, but I don't want to ruin good scissors. So I just don't take the chance. And this is going to go, is it the smallest one? Yep. There. And now we have all layers down. So there's 2 of them. Now let's go to the next set. Oh no, there's no way we're going to be able to do them all. Not if there's 3 different ones. And there are. This one is not much. I mean, there's 5 layers, but really there's not. Let's see what there is. It's the way they put them on the thing. It's not really adding up. So we got this one, then this one. And then this one, and then this one. Now let's just say that I want to leave this one off. Let's just say that I want to be frugal with my die cuts. Okay, what I would do is, this one's got greenery and stuff. So does this one, but it doesn't have the bird. This one has greenery. No, I'm just gonna do this. And I mean, everybody makes you make your own choices of what you do and don't do. So there's like 4 pieces to this, and I'm going to make 2 of them that are 2 pieces. It's basically how it's going to go right now. Ugh. But then because I'm doing that, you don't get to see the whole effect of it. But it gives you an idea. So usually what I do is I mix my two bottom ones. If I need to stretch it, I take my 2 bottoms and those become the bases. And then the next 2 layers becomes the next layer. So that would basically be what. Now if I wanted to go here and add this, I could do 3 layers, you know, and just leave this off. And this could be on the card with it, right? As a separate piece. Or this comes on here, and let me show you. So I also have this, right? So all 4 pieces. So on a card, let me get the piece of paper and I'll do it. Let's do it on the yellow so you can see. So I want to stretch my pieces, so I put this like this. I could do this up here and maybe this down here, and now I've got this whole thing, right? This whole bigger looking thing, and you can still form them. They're just going to be only 1 layer, right? So you can do it that way, right? They can still have shape to them. I just want you to understand that it doesn't all have to be decoupaged into the one pile. There's other ways to put it together, right? So you could do it like that. Or you could do 2. And let me do this other one. Now, because I've already stuck this one on, I can't change my mind now and decide to put that on. It won't. This is not, well, it might, but it might rip something too. And you could probably pull it apart if you really wanted to. With the foam tape being the way it is. Where's my, oh, I'm holding it. Okay. So, or you can have 2 and only one has the bird, and that can go on the card, right? That can be your embellishment. Or you can layer them all together. Whatever you choose to do, you can do. So now I'm going to do these. And these are in line. Okay. These ones are in line. So keep that in mind, because they will work that way if you want them to. It's just, and you know, there's more than one here also. So if I wanted to do a complete decoupage and then take one of my other sets and come in and add more for the top of the card, for your card topper or topper, whatever, you can also do that. And maybe I'll do that in a card for you at some point. Also, you know, just so that you know, there's other ways to do the decoupage. Now, decoupage used to be my thing when I did a lot of card, when I did it years and years back before I came back to it. I used to love the decoupage. It was my kind of my thing. But that was back in the day when you had to cut them out. You found a piece of paper, you found a piece of paper with a repeating pattern, and you cut them out, and you determined which pieces were going to be the next layer and all of that. It was basically, I mean, they didn't put out pads like this. They just didn't. I remember at one point when somebody did, and I'm thinking, for some reason, I'm thinking it was Anna Griffin. You know, back when, before she was doing all the stickers and everything. And I could be wrong, because that doesn't seem right now, does it? That doesn't sound right that Anna Griffin would do that. So I don't know. But anyways. So you look for your next biggest one, and this is going to be a big one. So I could stop here and just add these around. Or I could have used this bottom. This would have been a really good one, because it's 5 pieces instead of the 4. So this would have been a really good one to do that. Try to, you know, to stretch it out. Another thing too is you don't have to just use one decoupage on a card. You can use a couple of them. You know, the same ones. You could. I wouldn't really do that. I would be more apt to use the pieces. Honestly. So then this one, because it's got 4. You really can't see that, can you? Wait a minute. Yep, and then this one. 1, 2, 3, yeah. And then something doesn't seem right, but yeah, it is. There. And then a 2 piece. That's a lot, right? It feels like a lot. 4, 5, and seems like I usually stuck with 3 layers. The basic, the middle, the top. So that feels like a lot to me, but looks good. Anyways. But it just seems like, I don't know, this really seems like a little bit of overkill to me. This one, the other one didn't seem so bad. But see, it had a bigger base. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just seems this one doesn't feel so much like, this one is just layered, 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 layered. Look at that stack. Whew. That's quite a stack. I would never, I'm sorry, I just would never put that big a stack on a card. I would have a problem with that. So that's definitely one I would break down. Okay, so let me see. Did we did both of those, and then we go to the one. These are pretty, and so are the sunflowers. And see the sunflower again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it doesn't have a big base. So what I'm, oh no, wait. It is. It's 5 pieces, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to break it down into two. So, because this would go next. And then this. See, even this one. 5 layers. That's a lot of layers. So why not split them up? And I mean, if you like a lot of layers, then please do what you want to do. I'm just thinking it's too many layers. So I'm going to take my two biggest ones, and those will be my 2 bases. And I'm still going to form them and all of that. I remember back in the day when I used to cut them out and do my own, and sometimes like the paper would be too thick or so thin, and it is so nice now. It really is. Now I'm going to take my the 3rd one, and that's going to go on top of this bigger one. Just because you got a bigger base, you want a bigger next one. That's how I look at it. Okay, so, and you know, you could go, you know, 1, 2, and then maybe 3, and then do those 2, you know, but it just makes more sense. This is just the way I like to do it. So this is going to be next. I need to get to doing this quicker, but taking all these sheets off these stickers are a little bit of a pain. Okay, that's my next one, so I need my next bigger one, which is this one. And I might say, you know what? I'm going to snip it and just use 2 of them. You know, you can make it your own. Please don't feel like you have to do something a certain way because that's how they made it. Most of them want you to make it your own. They like to see other people's ideas. It gives them ideas, right? Okay, this is gonna go in this one. Like that. So that's one because that's the one. Or I could make this the higher. It should be the middle. It is the middle. Maybe I will make this one a little bit higher. Just to give it a little more something. Because this one looks really nice already. With just the 2 layers. Even though they're bigger layers. But, I'm going to do this way. Okay. do things how you want them. It's your card. You bought the materials. Make it how you want it. There's one. There's two. So if I'm putting them in a card, I could do this. I could do this. You know, I could do that. I could put them together. You know, add some foliage in there. Or two separate cards. This goes on one. This goes on another. You know, this could be a corner piece. This could be at the bottom. Sentiment here. You know, play around with it. Figure it out. Do what you want with it. You bought it. Use it however you want it. And then we come to this one, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by you don't have to use all of them, because I think this is gonna be too high. So I'm gonna go I kind of did show you already, but I'm just gonna do these three. I don't think you need to see those two. I mean, you know what they're gonna look like. They're just gonna make it stack up higher. Let me put the yellow so we can see behind it. Now this one does have a little bit bigger base, where to me it would look a little bit better than those others. With the small bases, I just think it just doesn't, the proportion of it doesn't feel right to me. Maybe, you know, you might like it that way. Everybody's different. But to me, the proportion feels all off. So is that fall? Are those berries? And does that make it like a fall-y Christmas? I don't know. I mean, I already have my dimensionals that I want to use, I think. I already know which ones I want to use for my swap, but I'm looking at this wondering if that's a fall flower. It could be winter. Okay. And then the actual flowers themselves. All right. So there we go. There's this one. So we have made, I need a plain sheet of paper up here to set these all on. So you can have a look at all of them and all the pieces. Let me use this. This right here. This will work. So you can see the pieces. See how stacked up high that is? Look at how high that is. I mean, it's nice if you're putting it on something besides a card. But like I said, everybody likes everything their own way, right? And that just happens to be mine. There we go. Pretty, right? I like them. I like them very much. All right, everybody. I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to go get the email sent. If you want to be in the swap, there's still plenty of time. So please email me at lori'sdiyinglife@gmail.com. And I'll put that in the description for you. So, all right, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Please join me again. And if you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Bye-bye now.